I am not... I'm still muted. Okay. Alright, Legos. This is not what we're building today. Go in the corner. Okay, this is gonna be a very weird stream for me. Because normally, not only do I not do things with, hand reveal. You've seen my feet reveal. You watched me play DDR with real feet cam, I think. I think I did that, right? I did that, didn't I? I think I did. Alright. You have no idea how tempted I was to start out the stream with just, placing an item on the desk. Lego sets. And then just do dank pods, but I was struggling. Speaking of struggling, let me know how volume levels are. I'm gonna be fucking around with a lot of things. Oops, hang on. No, get onto the other window, you silly son of a gun. Okay. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try one thing. Hey, Duck. Good to see you. I'm glad. How was the ending of Tears of the Kingdom? I have not beat it myself, but I have a good feeling I know what's gonna happen. Simultaneous stream, Len. Let's go. Okay, so, hang on. Whoa, it's me, hi. My microphone is gonna be an absolute nightmare to coordinate, but I think this is gonna be tricky. Okay, actually, it is me. It is Scott the Woz. Now let me check something else real quick, because I might be able to get something to work after all. Nope, I don't like the sign. Don't like the look of that. Hang on. Undo. Undo. It's not Scott Clueless facial hair. Yeah. I figured it would be easier if I went, I didn't shave this morning, because I'm a lazy son of a bitch. Oh, Pikmin 4 is a very fucking good video game, dude. You're gonna love it. Okay, okay, this one's not gonna work, so it's just going to be... Oh my god. That's as many as 3 10s. Holy shit, Dubby. 3 whole 10s. Hang on. Hang on. Gotcha. Okay. Well, so I thought I was going to have 2 separate webcams. I borrowed another one. But that's a no-go. And I was going to use the actual paper manual with a camera on it, but that doesn't seem like it's gonna work. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this, and now I am going to add a window source real quick. Window capture. Oop. Did not mean for that to come up immediately, but that's fine. Red clueless border when? Well, let me show you a little secret, my dear Leonard. There's already red. Let's actually do this. There we go. How's that look? Not distracting, I hope? Cool. Okay, lock that in place. You hurt. Yeah, a video and a computer system. Or a video, a computer, and a system. All at once. It's absolutely insane. Kind of thing. Technology is incredible. Whoops, I gotta lock my elements. Opera. Let me just do transform. I normally lock my elements. This is just an atypical layout for me, so I kept everything open to be edited. Wahoo World was fun, I'm glad. Good to hear that it was very fun. Have you been to Disney World? Is another question. Let's do this. Okay, that looks ugly. Hang on. 250. That'll do. Okay. Cool. That should do it. Okay, I should have really figured out how I was going to show this off before spending all the time on the layout. Hang on, I'm just going to move this microphone and pick up my webcam and just show you how absurdly large this thing is. Pants reveal, by the way. Look at this. It's fucking gigantic. Okay. Alright, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. If you want to know what the packaging looks like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to build. And I don't have multiple webcams like I thought I would. Not like I would really be focusing too much on that, because it's more entertaining to do the actual building, in my opinion. So let's get to the actual building. Okay. I will say this is a hefty motherfucker, though. Looking 2,532 pieces. It's absurd. Hey, Fridge, how's it going? This is a big boy. Alright, which side do I open you from? Alright, today we are listening to the LEGO Racers soundtrack, by the way. We will be looping back to the LEGO Island soundtrack at some point, but I wonder when the Atari will say fuck. right now, I couldn't swing my hand far enough on the screen to actually demonstrate. Okay. Okay, hang on. Opera, hide. Need to. I want to clearly see the edge of the desk. This is what happens when I mess with my stupid layout. Okay, lighting. Fix that. Oh, actually, as long as it's on my mind, I'm gonna, go into, where am I looking? Stream elements, there we go. I'm gonna change the upper restrictions on my chat. This is a very last minute change, but I figured it would be good to do, oh yeah, no, this is gonna go on a while. You will have plenty of time. Hey, while Fridge is gone, does anyone else feel like this this soundtrack qualifies as penis music? I can't help but feel like that's the case. Not up-tempo enough? Hang on. DLC media player. Oh, wrong button. How about that? We have entered penis music territory. Great. Okay. Back to normal speed. You know what, Len? I'm gonna have to do that now. Okay. Nix the chat thing for now. So let's get back into Opera. Opera open. Choo. Okay. And Opera's on top. Why am I even bothering? It was gonna cover the ugly cropping on the chat anyway. Okay. Anyway, on that note, there's a lot of Legos in here. Is the stream going up on only? Fuck off. And no. Okay, so. Pardon my sniffling, by the way. I'm currently in isolation for COVID stuff. Not a fun time, but hey, it gives me the time to do music stuff. Is this going on Gex? Probably. There's a vaguely Gex-like video game that comes with the Atari. Alright, so. Alright, instruction manual. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Have you built Atari today? No. You played Atari? Oh, that's cute. Okay. I will look through this more in a little bit, but I just need to know how many fucking bags there are. 16! Holy shit! That's a lot. Have you built Atari? one whole Atari. Okay, let's start by putting them back into the box in opposite order. 5, 4, 3... Oh, there's 16. 16... This is another 3. This is 14. This is 13. 8. 8 can wait to go in the bag. 6. 1. 1. Oh shit, holy fuck. Lego Man! What game does this come with? It comes with a couple of games. I will show that off in a minute. This is number 9, I'll wait to put that one in. There's 7, 12, 10, 11, those can both go back in. This one's unlabeled, but I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be an early one because it is clear and it looks like a bunch of bases. The base piece. 4, 1, 14, into the box. Lego minifig repainted to look like man. It probably wouldn't be too hard. Alright, I gotta... Okay, 7, 6... You guys can all go in box again. Oh, come on! Stickers! I fucking hate stickers on my Lego sets. That's fine. That's fine. Great, now I got people watching me put the stickers on too and everything. Ah, great. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I guess let's go through the manual before we go any further. You can center and go underneath the chat for now. Have you built Atari today? Unveiled in 1977, the Atari video game computer system brought the realistic thrills of the arcade into the home and would go on to become one of the most popular gaming systems in history, with 30 million units sold. This LEGO version of the Atari video computer system is the iconic 4-switch CX2600A from 1980. It's full of authentic details and hidden gems that will take you back in time to the halcyon days of classic gaming. Enjoy! And this was the original. Founded in 1972, Atari remains one of the most iconic names in the gaming world, and more than half a century later, the brand continues to resonate with fans and those looking for the thrill of vintage gaming. Name-checked widely in countless TV shows, movies, and pop culture, Atari has also become an authentic cultural reference point, reaching far beyond its computer gaming origins. Ooh, hang on, let me move this out of the way of chat. Look at that. Look at that incredible artwork. That is straight up false advertising. The cartridge system allowed players to immerse themselves in many different games. Advertisement for the system, yeah. There's no comparing it with any other video game. Sure isn't. Also, yeah, can someone get the Atari football copy pasta for me, please? I'm obsessed with the way that they're named. More games, more fun. Unlike many earlier gaming systems that only offered a single integrated game, Atari used a cartridge system that allowed a virtually limitless selection of games. A total of 527 games would be published for the Atari video computer system. It had hits such as Asteroid, Ms. Pac-Man, and Pitfall. An official LEGO product acknowledges Miss Pac-Man's existence, but Namco won't. Just plain ass, normal, everyday, no question about it. No NFL, no year, not named after a player, not named after a coach, not named after the referee's pet goldfish. No quarterback, diamondback, nickelback, simple, ordinary, unembellished, unmistakable, crystal clear, as frank as Frankenstein, as blunt as an atom bomb. One compound word, it's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitching fucking football. Wait, I have a button for... There. Anyway. Mrs. Pac-Man, da-da-da-da-da. Good bit, thank you. Building an icon. 2,532-piece Lego model is a close one-to-one representation of the iconic 4-switch Atari replica joystick that plugs into the back of the console. That always threw me off. Why would you put it in the back of the console? Oh my god, the TMs work on the emote wall. That's very funny. That's so fun. 80 style cartridge holder when not in use. Front panel, power switch. Hang on. Transform, edit, transform. Alright. I do love the controller ports are literally just fucking anti-studs. It's very funny. I mean, yeah, but it's also very strange considering the way that they display it a couple pages back here, where all the cables are reaching around the front of the thing. It just seems very silly. From the design team, as an avid fan of classic... Hang on, let me fucking increase the... As an avid fan of classic console gaming and a proud owner of an original Atari video game, 50th anniversary was a dream come true. Once we decided the overall scale and feature of the model is all about getting the little details just right, designing switches that can be toggled up and down, building a joystick that both looks and feels like the original, and creating a brick-built version of the classic wood grain for the front of the console. Of course, we couldn't recreate the actual games themselves, but we decided to include 3 buildable vignettes to bring fans closer to the gameplay experience of these classic games. Chris McVie, LEGO designer. The hidden pop-up scene is full of details that will feel instantly recognizable to anyone who grew up playing video games in the 80s. There's a man! Oh shit, we're getting into the actual building part. Ugh, get back in there. Back in the corner. Alright, let's get started. You can hide over here now, Manual. Sorry you're not going to get much use. If I get sick of using the virtual display, I will just bust this out. Okay. 1. 5, you go over here. 4, 3, 3, 4 again. Hang on, what's this? I gotta stop moving things to the right because that's not where the camera is. Alright, I'm just gonna assume that all these, I'm gonna just put those back in the box for now. We're making our packaging more sustainable. We're transitioning from single-use plastic to paper-based packaging. As we progress, you may find a mix of paper and plastic in our boxes. Thank you, LEGO Corporation. Very cool. Okay, by and large, corporations are not your friend. But that said, LEGO, like, they are probably the most ethical company I have ever heard about. Like, everything I hear about them is phenomenal. Like, literally all of their greens and browns and nature bricks are made entirely out of, like, biodegradable stuff, and I believe their goal like, those were the first ones, and now they are at a point where all of their bricks are, or nearly all their bricks are completely biodegradable, which is really fucking cool. Alright, so we're gonna start with one, and then we'll just make our way from there. Alright. That's generally how counting works, yes. Okay. Let's see. Small one. Faces of Evil, yep. Among other things. Len, no, you just got back from Super Nintendo World. You don't have funds right now. The whole idea behind it is that it's a community effort anyway, so don't feel like you have to foot the bill. We will make whose face the greatest in Korodai, or else you will die. Okay. Building. I always found these particular bricks really, really weird because of how they're just flat and smooth on one side. It's so weird. Also, love these things. I actually have 2 of these in my room already. Another orange one that came from the from my most recent Lego purchase of my own, that being Boba Fett's ship. Not Slave 1, because they specifically can't use that name anymore, but Boba Fett's starship, because they didn't decide on a name yet. And then this turquoise one came with the Lego flowers that I will show a picture of later. But yeah. Alright. But we'll use this one, since it's the one they gave us. Okay, this is the right size, yes, okay. Okay, how's that? I don't want any one side of the screen to be like absolutely washed out. No, you go further this way. As a matter of fact, I could probably even make this smaller. Is that too small? If I need to actually show in any particular detail what steps I'm on, I can just fucking blow it up, whatever. This is not exactly the most formal of layouts. Let me know how volume levels are, by the way. I do not know my current... There was a background instrument in the track for 1 split second that made me feel like, hold the fucking phone. Is that a Discord notification? I turned those off. Threw me the fuck off. There is an unreasonable number of black smooth bricks right now. GBASP detected. Oh, yes. I fucking love that. I thought you were talking about on camera, and I was like, how the fuck did you see that from here? Because I do have one of those just kind of hanging around in my room. Oh, god damn it. Stickers already. Okay. Here we go. Sniff. I should really have just gone and got a thing of tissues. Oh yeah, this is the actual book itself. Because I had to get the stickers out. Spoilers, don't look. I'm gonna music stand next to my desk because I thought I was gonna need something to prop open my, or prop up my camera. but I don't, so it's just kind of here. Okay, which one is this? This is gonna be adventure. Okay, so you can hide in the corner over here. Okay. Alright, apologies if this wipes out the camera quality, but I need to have some good lighting when I do this part. It's about as good as I'm gonna get, because if I try and peel it off, it's just gonna look awful. That's cute. Hang on, look. They actually designed it so that the dragon itself on the box art is also made out of Lego. So they use the classic dragon face. Which, fun fact, the specific shape of the dragon's mouth is the reason that fire bricks in Lego for the longest time were weirdly shaped with those little nubbins on the side, because they were designed to be locked into the dragon's mouth. It was very silly because it was rarely used. Okay. Lego piles, yes. Welcome back from your snack pilgrimage. Alright, lighting. No. So the reason all these tracks are so short is because these are the racer introduction tracks. And I forgot that there was a character named Baron von Baron. Solid Snake is gonna be in Fortnite. That's so fucking bizarre. Alright, I'm gonna skip all the rest of the short tracks. Pirates variant canon. Okay. Sneef. This is a very large piece, but it's also a very flat piece, so it makes it really difficult to find one spot to press down on it for. Not a huge fan of it. Get on there. Okay, get all the stickers out of the way right off the bat. Okay. Game program adventure. Shout out to Fortnite for ruining the concept of a Ryu number. Like, everyone's Ryu number just dropped to, like, single digits because of Fortnite. It's ridiculous. Wow, it didn't even occur to me that all of the places I was doing the sticking work is directly under where I was looking at the manual. Look at that. Game program adventure. You'll never see how crooked that is. Ah! Jesus. Sorry, Temmie. Hang on. Here you are. Okay. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Okay. Back I am. Returned I have. Okay, hang on. How am I gonna... I want my lighting to not be garbage. But nothing is working with this thing. Hang on. Let's do this. Yeah. Blind you. It really doesn't help that, like, behind my head is the only other light source. Like, really could not have been worse placed. Speaking of worse placed, let me actually try something else with Opera. You actually come over here. Because this is where my mouse is. So the amount of things that are gonna be like behind this are probably not gonna be that big a deal. At least I hope not. And oh, not you. Alright, and just to be certain, I'm gonna lock it back in place. Now I'm gonna head down here. Here. Okay, that's fine. This will be fine. This is going to be fine. Ah, God. I didn't even process that that's where my thumb was going. Sorry, guys. Okay. There we go. There we go. Much nicer. Okay, next step. Ugh. More stickers! Yeah, that's right. It also doesn't help that the first couple steps of the instructions are all black. Number 5. Engage. You know what? Sorry if this looks awful on camera, but I gotta have some rain. Hey, Gomez. So when this Lego set is completed, will you be able to play the Atari games on it? God, I wish. That'd be super funny. But no, unfortunately not. It's just not how it works. Unfortunately. I missed a step. I didn't finish putting on the flattened pieces. That's fine. How was your holiday, Gomez? What kind of fun stuff did you do for the holiday? Maybe you can stick a PI in it? A what? Oh, a Raspberry Pi. That'd be kind of fun. Mostly had COVID? Dude, same. Miserable. Absolutely miserable. Everybody ill for the holidays. Yeah. Well, what did you guys do for the holidays? Were you guys also ill? Because that would be really fucking lame. Just have Christmas on New Year's this year. Oh, well, that's fun. That's kind of fun. Alright, next step. I'm assuming this is the underside? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Because that's how they have the flat part on both sides, the smooth part on both sides. That's fun. Okay. 8, yeah. I had, I have a fun Christmas story from this year, actually. So at work, I've got, some coworkers, as you do, unless you're a self-made man, you generally have people that you work with. You're not just a solo. Anyway. So, my two coworkers, I got one of them who streams on Twitch, a Stream Deck, this guy with the light up buttons and all that lets me do funny things like and whatnot, and just generally makes things very convenient, even outside of streaming. Just having a way to, like, a shortcut to open up browser things, or like, oh Christ, I gotta do that a lot. Okay. There's, but so for that, for them, I got Caden a Steam Deck, not a Steam Deck, a Stream Deck. That's several $100s more. I love my coworkers, but I don't love them that much. I also don't have that much disposable income to buy my coworkers video game consoles for Christmas. Well, that's it. A Stream Deck's not cheap either, but whatever. But I'm the boss. I make money, so I can do what I need to and what is fun. And then for my other coworker, I got them a set of Lego Wildflowers that they happen to have, also at Best Buy, because I was like, I know that they like Magic the Gathering, and I know a couple other things that they would like, but then I saw those, and I was like, you know what, I bet they would really enjoy these, because they fidget with things like I do, they like art, and having a buildable art piece would be very fun. And then I brought them their presents at the store, where they had just finished selling a drum kit and all that. Stream Deck evolves into Steam Deck, which evolves into Steam Deck. Yeah, exactly. And so then on Christmas Eve, when we do our sibling Secret Santa, my younger brother got me these. The exact same set. It was very funny. And they are now on display downstairs. Very lovely. Very anachronistic, though, because they are distinctly very, very summer-themed flowers in the dead of winter. But, you know, can't design those for all kinds of the year. This is such a bizarre feeling tile. Like, it's literally just anti-studs on the bottom, nothing on top. Smooth as butter. And that's also the reason that this thing exists, because not only is this a means to hook onto bricks and peel them off, like break them off like that. Let me use two as an example. Like you can have these two bricks and then go like pop them off like that. But you can use the flat part on the other side. This thing here. Use it as a brick remover. Okay, bad example. This one's also not that difficult because it's got more surface area, but this is like super helpful for like a big, or like some of the smaller ones. Like these ones, like there's a tile floor in one of the house sets that I have. There we go. I was using the wrong side, that's why. Hang on. Let me show you. Yeah, no problem. I also use the flat part to attach stickers. I only learned that like 3 months ago. Holy shit! Like by smoothing it out, because like smoothing it out's not the problem. It's angling it and making sure that it's centered is the hard part. This is overset by the proper amount. Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think it is. Okay. Fit together. Actually, before I do that, I should make sure all of this is flattened. Oh, I'm stupid. This is the chip. That's so fun. Oh my god, that's so much fun. Alright, and now we can seal these hideous studs that reveal that it is in fact not a single flat piece of plastic, and seal them from the world all stealthy like. Use the tip to put the sticker on instead of your fingers. Please show me instructions on how to do this, because I'm very curious now. Oh, God, hang on. There we go. That's how you light things. You can tell I don't do IRL streams ever. Alright, let me have a look-see at this. Alright, Lego Racers, you're a fantastic soundtrack, but please shh.
The Humble Brick Separator has a useful hack that you might not know about. If you're like me, you probably have a heap of them laying around. So when you get a new set that needs stickers, This makes applying them so much easier. Simply grab the flat end of the brick separator and slide it under the corner or edge of the sticker. Then line it up with the brick you're putting it on, making sure it's straight. Gently put the edge of the sticker down and slowly bend the sticker on, pressing down on the end you started with so it stays in place. And there. So that's why.
Oh, I see. I'm gonna forget to do that as soon as I'm ready to put the next set of stickers on. I am going to immediately forget about it. But good to know. Or forget, I guess. Good to forget. Solid info, though. Thank you. Okay. Next step. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is the little diorama. You will hang out over here. There. There. It is remarkable how much this feels like a cartridge in weight distribution. It is so uncanny. Oh no, I'm doing this slightly out of order. Oh no, whatever. There's no way, I'm never gonna find a spot where I can just have all of the things on screen and also show all the things I want on camera, because my hands will just go where they want to go. So if there's ever something that's like vitally important that's not on screen, please just yell at me. Or like do point redeems or whatever. Something flashy. Hello? Where's the... There you are. How do you think the people that do the hand modeling for LEGO sets do it? Or hand modeling in general for any kind of advertisements? Because I look at my hands and I'm just like, yeah, those are hands, alright, but they don't look like... They're definitely not delicately manicured. And it just seems like it'd be such a hassle to hold things in just such a way. But, you know. Maybe being Danish is part of it. Maybe! You never know. More stickers! Guess who immediately forgot that tip that Fridge showed him? crooked. Hang on. No, no, you're staying. You're staying. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. It is more than fine, as a matter of fact. It is going to be absolutely imperceptible. Because it's a black sticker on a black brick. No one will notice, except for me. I will hate it. But it'll be fine. This gives me a rare opportunity to speak with my hands during a stream. It is very strange having this ability. Small baggy time. Okay. What do you guys do with the leftover brick pieces that are always included in the set? Because I like to try and assemble them into something that keeps them all together. Yeah. Or I try and find a way to... Well, okay. You don't just dump them in the Lego bin because they're so small. Most of the time they go into the studs bin for me. We have an entire... So we don't actually have a bin for Lego studs. We have a soda can. Not a regular soda can, mind you, but a Lego soda can. That is just for these little guys. Round studs. Just for those. And then we have a separate thing. We also include these, the 1x1 square studs for that. Well, the studs can's in the basement, so I can't go get it. But then we have a similar thing for any of the 1x1 slope pieces or 1x1... Actually, the fact that I've been following more Lego content creators, I've learned a bunch of really cool nomenclature, and apparently they're called cheese wedges, which is very funny. But I'll go get the Lego soda can later if you remind me. We actually had two separate bins. We had one for Bionicles that was under the bed, and we had big bins for separate, or like little drawers for Lego compartments. I'll see if I can find a picture of one of them later. But ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be able to fit those on camera, because I already brought them all the way downstairs. And I do need to go through those and figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with them. I have gone through them recently just because there are some sets that we want to build that are gonna get passed on, that we haven't had a chance to finish building, but there are also dozens of sets that we just have that are done. Anyway, next step. I don't have to do any more freaking stickers for a little while. Hell yeah. Okay, you go all the way on like that? Yeah, there's a lot of big flat pieces on this build. No, I put it on wrong. This is why they have these things. Wait a second. This calls for the industrial strength. Haha! Just gonna keep all these around, actually. Just gonna hang out in the top left. My top left, your bottom right. Shut up. Okay, I don't have to turn the tempo on this one up to know that this is penis music. What track is this? This is Rocket Variant Luck. Oh no, I know for a fact that this is not luck, my friend Rocket Racer. I know for a fact that you fucking cheat. Even as a kid, I would be able to recognize when the AI in LEGO Racers would fucking cheat the shit out of you. It made me so goddamn mad. I still beat him, but like, wasn't happy about it. Rubber banding is one of my least favorite things. A lot of the time, it is so frustrating. Because you're good at the video game. The video game has acknowledged the fact that you are good at the video game. Why is it punishing you for being good at the video game? I don't know. There's definitely a design philosophy behind it, but oh, speaking of design philosophies behind things, I'm almost certain that if the quote-unquote Karma gaming engine that Tommy Tallarico and his team were making, if it was going to be anything, it was going to be that, and people would have hated it. But fortunately, we know for a fact that it doesn't exist, because Tommy Tallarico said that he made that shit up. Everyone hates Tommy Tallarico. Karma Chameleon. Oh, that's cute. So the way that they do... Now I want to watch Roblox Oof again? Watch it in the second window. Power move. So we got a bunch of these 1x2 rounded plates, I think is what they're called. Which is a dumb name when you say it out loud, but then you think about it and it's like, it is the easiest thing in the world to remember because it's quite literally exactly what you describe. It is 1x2, it is a plate, flat, and it's rounded. That's it. That's all that it takes. It's a dumb name, but it gets the point across. Now, some of the Technic bricks, those are just going to have fucking impossible names. I'm never going to remember any of those things. But yeah, you see this part on the manual where it says, like, ×6? Actually, do I have Opera GX set to show up with my, mouse cursor? I do not. That's fine. In fact, that's better for it. But the part where it's asking me to build 6 of these little fuckers, there was a lot of that during when I was building the wildflowers. They were very particular. And sometimes they wouldn't tell you that you needed to do it twice until the end of it, like after you turned the page. So that was fun. And by fun, I mean genuinely fun. It was actually pretty cathartic. And that's, I think, the reason that they make LEGO sets for adults. Just because it's a very... Oops! That's not me clicking into the window. What the... My mouse is appearing on Opera GX and OBS at the same time. But when I mouse off of Opera, it shows something different. That is so bizarre. Anyway, good thing it's done. Don't need to worry about that part. And not on stream. Yeah, no. Because I did not have that part enabled, I guess. But that's fine. Computer's haunted. Yeah, I know that. It's haunted by the spirit of Windows asking me to activate its fucking software. Because every trick I've tried has not worked. To get that watermark to go away since I upgraded my computer. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Because I'm desperate. I would also like to know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that I have some nice screenshots from your from our Pokemon Legends Arceus playthrough, in which the vast expanse of Hisui also features an Activate Windows watermark. The closest thing that I have found to this is... Hang on a sec. This is what I used, and it seemed like it worked for a little while. I'm gonna paste this in the chat. This is what I used, and it seemed to have worked. I haven't tried all the options, but I've done 2 out of the 3. Anyway, the Lego Racers OST is just about run out, so we're going to queue up. Ah, didn't mean to do that right away. That's fine. You know what? I'm just gonna close out of that and start something else. Properly do it like that. Like you, VLC. Uh-huh. There we go. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, back to it. Still have my pocket knife out from when I was opening the box. Back in there. Back to you, just gonna hang out a little bit closer. Okay. Shout out to that guy. That guy that just screams. Also, shout out to this incredibly 90s sound here. It's so good. Hang on. That's the good shit. Thank you, Michael Blakeman, for your contributions to my childhood. I have so many windows open right now, it's very tricky to actually see what I want to see. Actually, you know what? Fucking, what am I talking about? Why don't I just do this? Here we go. Oop. This'll do. You can see behind it now. Yay! Actually, let me turn this up a little bit, actually. Oh my god, this theme. Also, yeah, the previous theme was Elevator Music by Michael Blakeman. This is the Observation Deck by Michael Blakeman. But yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking about. God, this song goes so hard. And this is literally one screen in the whole game. God damn, Blakeman. What were you on? Oh my god, it's almost 10 o'clock. We're not finishing this tonight. Wishful thinking. Always was. Mario wood texture. Oh, I love that. There was a theme on my 3DS that had the Mario wood grain. That was always my absolute jam aesthetically. So the reason that I keep defaulting to moving things over here is because it's not in the way of the microphone. So I think I might actually move the instructions back to the top right. But at the same time, like it's never gonna work. So I'm just gonna forget about it for now. It's fine. This 1 pound meatball challenge? That's awesome. Why does this give me Sonic Unleashed vibes? Oh, that's not right? That's right? Oh, backside. There we go. And you... What are you? What is this? This little stud with the white nubbin sticking out. What are you supposed to be? According to the text, it says the adventure vignette includes a small nest with an egg at the back of the castle. Oh, this is a nod to the fact that the adventure features the first ever Easter egg in a video game. Aww. Aww. That's you. You're the egg. This guy right here, that's the egg. You're the Easter egg. How does it feel? It's an Easter egg with the Easter egg. That's so cute. God. This is the theme of the Flying Legondos. I have no idea where in the game this plays. Ta-da! Oh shit! It's the garage theme. Otherwise known as Number One Banger. Ah. If I ever did an arrangement of something from this game for the BGSO, it would probably be this garage theme leading into Brick by Brick. Because that is probably the most iconic thing. Maybe the title theme where they're going, Lego. But, like, still. Damn, it's some damn fierce competition, too. Maybe the race theme as well. The race theme is really good. I also get Brick by Brick stuck in my head sometimes. The best part about being in charge of the store is that no one can tell me what I can and can't play on the store, like, speakers. So I'll just put video game music soundtracks on all the time. And the best part is even weird shit like Lego Islands. Also, yeah, you can distinctly tell the person that put together this download did their goddamn hardest. They even got help from some of the people on the team to get the most high-quality versions of the cassettes possible. But for some tracks, they just had to straight up rip it from the game's, like, files, and this is one of them. So you can very clearly tell when that's the case. But this is one of the only, like, only soundtracks on my computer right now that is downloaded in FLAC format. So that just goes to show you how fucking insane some Lego Island fans are. Oh shit, we get to build a little dragon now. Yeah, even in low quality, this song still slaps hard. And somehow I remember all of this. Like, this is still distinctly something that's I remember hearing as my childhood. This is opening the gate. Stop having it be closed. You know what? I'm gonna try this. Hang on. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna move my microphone so that it lets me better see the instructions, so that I can better, so I don't lean all the way over here where the instructions are. This is the racetrack theme. It really doesn't matter what you call a genre, as long as you recognize that a song slaps. That's the important part. Cute little fire breather. Stick them on there. You? I do love human music. Yes, I also enjoy human music. I forgot to put these on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Extra pieces. We're only 2 bags in. Oh boy. Here we go. I love the guy who loves music videos. They're so good. I do love music. Alright, I'm gonna hope that there's only one bag labeled as number 2. Because that's our next step. Castle. Genres are all fake anyway. It doesn't matter what you call things. Except for jazz. Jazz, Jazz is one of those things that I'm very particular about in terms of whenever someone just plays like a super discordant chord and just says, that's jazz. On one hand, yeah, it's funny. But on the other hand, like, it actually negatively impacts people's opinions on the way jazz musicians play. Because it implies that they don't know what they're fucking doing and that they're just making noises. Which is really not a particularly great, like, thing to say about your fellow musicians. But I know that when people say that, they don't mean it in earnest. It is just a thing that they say for fun. And yeah, it is fun. I say it sometimes too. But I don't know. I also went to school specifically for like learning about jazz, so that does play a role in it. Yeah. Jazz, parentheses, bad. Exactly. You get it. You understand. Alright, little baggie over here. And this is Mrs. 5 Notes in a solo. Jazz! Good. Exactly. You get it. Jazz is a very hard genre to play. It is not easy. Jazz guitar in particular, like this shit, I'm pointing up as if that it's playing from overhead speakers. It's not. It's playing in my headphones and through the computer. That's it. But jazz guitar is one of the most challenging fucking things in the world. Mad props to any jazz guitarists out there. Schubert is my favorite. Yeah, and that's the other thing, is that classical musicians, you could say jazz when you fuck it up and it still sounds fine, not when you intentionally play it badly. That was my 2 cents. Exactly. This shit... No. But one of my favorite points about music theory is that if you were to introduce, of course, with the caveats of the whole, like, what do you mean you went to the moon thing, that you get with, historical figures and stuff like that, with that meme out of the way, like, if you were to ever explain to, like, Bach or Beethoven or Mozart or Schubert or really any classical musician, that their music was being used to create rules that all other music is going to be based on, they would be fucking fuming. They would be so mad. They're like, what are you talking about? Rules? Are you kidding me? I was just making shit up. Again, within the parameters of what actually making something up is. In the context of knowing how things stack and all that. But they wouldn't, like... It's not like they would be... It's not like they had a very specific pattern that they would always build things off of. There's a very specific way that they would... Oh yeah, there's this part. Can't get this in jazz. Except for the part where you can. This is the part where I get to be really, really anal about the way I put together my Lego sets. Because anytime that there's a big flat piece, I always try and get all the Lego logos facing the same direction. Because for a display piece, it matters to me. But also not really too much. It's mostly just for the big flat ones. Who enters your living room? Thank you. What is these rules you speak of? You schlupper milk and star. I have no idea how the fuck you say that word, but I can only imagine that it's made up. Sniff. And I'm also of the opinion that I think that most classical musicians nowadays, if they were to be introduced to jazz in the context of what they're doing, I think that they would be thoroughly impressed with it. Because there's a lot of impressive shit in jazz. And the only reason that we are able to have quote-unquote jazz standards nowadays is because the rules of music have been so thoroughly established that we have a concrete list of things that people can pick up and do, and can interpret even if they don't know that song front to back. That track was called Skeletons. This is the medical center theme. Yeah, that tracks, exactly. If they played this in the lobby of the hospital that I was being driven to as I was choking on a pizza, or something, I probably would be okay with it. Why is there a hospital on Lego Island? Like, I suppose it's a good thing, because it'd be really dangerous if their only means of getting a hospital there, or like getting someone to, how does one choke on pizza? It's because it's the only thing to eat on the island. Hang on, let me, so this playlist actually came with every single track in the game. So let me just,
That's alright. We make a pizza, we make a pasta, we make a lots of money. Why? We're the only place to eat on the island. Just remember our motto, Briccolinis. Where else you gonna eat?
Where else you gonna eat? Oh wait, hang on, before I forget, what's the name of the track? Here it is.
KHRT, K-Hurt, all hospital music all the time. We just finished a 40-minute block with one of your favorites, the Lego Island theme song. LEGO Radio, and I'm on the air. I'll be back in just a moment, but first, this song.
Alright, back to the actual soundtrack. some good modern jazz, and there's jazz that completely drops everything on the solos and sounds bad. There's a lot of things like that. It's tricky to define, I feel. That's my job, it's me. Yeah. How is that going, by the way, Fridge? Talk to me about that job. What do you do there, specifically? Because I've always find that stuff super fascinating. Very good to hear you're having a good time. Ah! Yes, this is the shit that I live for. Hang on. 4 of these guys. Now, Fridge, the real question is, when you get a job in radio, will you be able to find a job in radio that is in the same county that you live in? Because apparently that's just a thing that most people that work in radio have to understand and just live with, is that if you get a job in radio, it is not going to be in your same county. No one knows how that happens. It just does. Basically every facet of how you can use your voice. Oh yeah, that's right, Canada. Fuck. Oops. Same difference. Yeah, province is state, and they're way big. Am I blind? Am I missing a piece? Or rather, not am I missing a piece, where is the piece I'm missing is more what I'm thinking. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is a little bit loud. Oh, I'm not talking about moving a distance away from home. I'm talking about a distance from where you work. Because Veggie BLT of Veggie BL Tail on Twitch, they did a stream of a game called Salamander County Public Television. And yes, when you abbreviate that, it does stand for SCP-TV. And yes, I believe the devs did know that. But that game, one of the things that they mentioned while playing, and the game itself even mentions, is that none of the characters that live in like the entire population of Salamander County vanishes, and that is the but the reason that the people that work at the TV station did not vanish is because in order to work at the public TV station there, you do not you just don't get a job there. It's the next county over. They live in the cast of characters that you play as live in Worcestershire County. Which is very funny. All right, how are we doing this? Big one of you at the back. That. Hang on over here for a little bit. Yeah, no, Dubby. Worcester. Whatever. Dubby, join the voice call and just say it for me. For like 3 seconds, then you can leave. And I'm fairly confident that no matter how they say it, or how you're supposed to say it, the text-to-speech voice in the game says it as Worcester, with very articulate, which might also just be the right way of saying it, but no one I know says it like that, because there's so many consonants. Yeah, House Gloucester. That one was... Honestly, though, most of the names from Three Houses also just bring me a lot of pain trying to read them. This is the cave theme. So if you ever went to go meet Captain Brickbeard, this is the music you'd be hearing. Lawrence Hellman's mayonnaise! Fuck. Okay. Happy Roaming. That's what this track is named. I'll say. This is probably one of the tracks that you heard the most frequently if you played this game growing up. Okay, gotta make 2 of these guys. Like so. There we go. Okay. This is the part where I have a lot more fine details that I need to be paying attention to, and I can't just be chatting willy-nilly. I apologize if my commentary takes a dive. This is the Lego Island theme, Beach Boulevard. So this is the version that plays while you're actively exploring. A very good one. Also very 90s. guy really did just go silent. Well, a lot of things just go silent. This is kind of a chill stream is the thing, is that it's a lot of just kind of vibing and listening to music and the quiet clicking of bricks, which I'm not even sure how well you guys can hear. I'm just gonna hope that you can. Can't really? Well, let me see if I can do something about that. Advanced audio properties. No, wrong one. Voice mod. Filters. Turning off the noise gate. There you go. Shiny hunting. That's one of those things where it's like shiny hunting is paradoxically also one of those vibing things that you do. All right. Do not let me forget to turn noise gate back on though, because this is my anti-garage door filter. So just keep that in mind. Lego. Oh shit, guys! It's time for the fucking jet ski race. This is called Interplanetary by the Torpedoes. Shout out to Surfer Rock as a genre. Okay, that's right. Pokemon Bank requires online servers. That is really dumb. Box. Sideways box. Wait, fuck, you're right. Why don't I just...
Q! Laser!
Fuck.
Q!
There we go. Yeah, I was gonna hope so. Pokemon Company better hold up to that promise. Anyway. This... Yeah! And now you can just kind of sit on top. Like a little display piece. And you're gonna hang out in this part of the screen. Behind the chat. Hang on. No, I'm gonna turn this around actually, so that the Easter egg is on screen. Maybe get Pinky those ribbons and transferred up at some point. Yeah, better. Alright. Now for the hard part. Oh boy. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move this over here so the Easter egg is hanging out by me instead. Don't mean to deprive you of your Easter egg, guys, but I gotta make some space. Because this is gonna be where most of my building is actually happening. But the Easter egg is still here. He's a friend of you and me. Alright, bag number 3. Let's go. Bag number 3. Bag number 3. Bag number 3. Bag number 5. Bag number 4. Bag number 4. Is there another bag number 3 or is it just the 2? Yep, it's just the 2. Okay, great. There you go. That's the full soundscape of Lego right there, with the noise gate disabled and everything. This song fucks. This is Mama Briccolina's piano riffs. Thank you, Mama Briccolini. Very cool. This is Papa Dances with a Pizza. Oh yeah, baby! Crank it up!
Mamma and Papa Briccolini will not cook you no linguine. Don't you know we specialize in one thing, that's the pizza pie. If you think the family's ready for a plate of good spaghetti, sorry if it makes you cry, but all we got is pizza pie. There's nothing wrong with enchiladas. Some people like pickles and hot dogs, but you never get.
Some people like pickles and hot dogs. There's only one place to eat on Lego Island, and it's the pizzeria. So get used to it. I don't think that by the time when Lego Island came out, I don't think that they had bricks for bananas or apples yet. Only played Lego Island 2. I've heard Lego Island 2 is not as good, but I've also heard that from the people that grew up with Lego Island 1, so that might have something to do with it. I do feel that it is distinctly less charming, but that's also because, again, I grew up with Lego Island 1. Maybe I just don't like Pepper in that one as much. Yeah, baby!
You can build a buggy, drive a big tow truck. You can paint a jet ski yellow like a duck. Now the roller cannabis, there ain't no trick. You just gotta do it brick by brick, brick by brick, clock by tick.
No matter how thin, no matter how thick, Papa told Mama, and Mama told Nick, you can build a mountain if you do it brick by brick.
Faster than a skateboard, bigger than a bike, louder than a DJ scratching all night. Pedal to the metal, heck a Lego squeal. You're in the driver's seat when you're behind the wheel.
Brick by brick, tack by tick, no matter how thin, no matter how thick, Papa told Mama, and Laura told Nick.
You can move a mountain if you do it brick by brick.
I assure you that if I knew how to default dance, I would be doing that right now. There's a very good channel out there on YouTube called Default Dancing to Every Song, and he means every song. Or attempting to default dance to every song. It's very fun.
Are you game boy? It's a riot girl.
I'm Game Boy!
Stick, let's go for a whirl. You're gonna cruise the island. There's something you should
I'm Game Boy!
when you block the road. You're gonna get towed.
Hang on, I gotta play it back again. Just gotta listen to that.
Are you game boy? It's a riot girl.
I'm Game Boy!
On the stick, let's go for a whirl. You're gonna cruise the island. There's something you should know. When you block the road, you're gonna get towed. Brick by brick, tack by tick. No matter how thin, no matter how thick. Papa told Mama and Laura told Nick. You can build a mountain if you do it brick by brick. I built a cool machine ready
It's not centered.
in black. There ain't no doodad that Steve rides slacks. All around the island, we're going around the bend. Break it down, baby, brick it up again.
Brick by brick, tack by tick.
No matter how
This song had no right going as hard as it did.
Papa told Mama and Laura told Nick. You can move a mountain, you can move a mountain, you can move a mountain if you do it brick by brick.
Look at this big ass board. This is the Brickster. This is the theme of the Brickster, I guess. He's tearing up this world for you and me. This is so incredibly 90s. He's just gargling? Sure. Sure. Splatoon? This is the Brickster from Lego Island. I don't remember this ever playing in-game, and yet, here we are. Here. Another bag I need to open. Sorry. Sounds like a Scooby-Doo chase scene. No, you're right. You're 100% right. Oh, this song. This is by Annie Wallace. You can guess what the title is.
I think I'm gonna build a ski today. Take all my favorite people on a spree today. We'll jet around the island and watch the sunset on the bay. And look for the Milky Way. I think I'll build that ski today. I think I'll build a beach house or a bungalow, a cabin in the mountains for my Uncle Joe, a little red convertible to cruise around. You know the Lego Island is my kind of town.
This doesn't sound like a Lego song, but I think that's why I like it. It's very funny.
I'll build me a gazebo in the park today. I'll stop and smell the roses until the band begins to play.
I think the fact that they tried to have so many different genres in the soundtrack that would play on the jukebox is really, really neat. I think it's cute.
Build a castle with a catacomb. And when I'm done with that, well, maybe I'll build Rome. Starting with the bridge today. Good play.
Good plan. This is Baroque in Brick, parentheses, pointless, but rather bouncy fugue. And yeah, I can't disagree. Okay, this is going to be the hard part. Now I have to start putting things together in a way that's going to be difficult for the camera to see. Okay. Oh shit. Manta Ray by the Torpedoes. This is another jet ski song. Okay. Hey look, I made a bridge. Took like, what, 2 hours? 3 tops. Okay. Oh shit! I think I know what I'm building next. It's man. This is the police station theme. What did you do other than Wahoo World, Len? Do tell. Also, I find it very fun that we can refer to Super Nintendo World as Wahoo World, which is also a completely separate Nintendo reference in the same breath. Springfield, USA is pretty nice to explore. Very cool. Oh boy. This is the hard part. How do I make this interesting to watch? Should probably actually move the camera back over to the right a little bit. Yeah, I think we should not call it Wahoo World because fuck Wahoo World. Fair. Don't you love the poll? Remind me which stage Wahoo World is in terms of gameplay mechanics, and I might remember. Oh, fuck that stage, actually. I'm with you on that one. I do, yeah, it took me a second until you mentioned the overrun with salmon part, then I was like, yes, that is the stage I'm thinking of. Big rotating circle middle part. I don't know if I'd call that a poll, though, and I think that's the reason I was thrown off for a moment. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that stage either. It as a salmon run stage was kind of neat. They added a pole to the middle and a what? Stage is the most inkable turf in the entire series. That is neat. I wish the stage didn't feel like ass to play on, though. Yahoo World? Desperate boy from Yahoo to become popular again? I don't know about that. Oh boy. Okay. How do we do this? I elect that we call it instead Yahoo! Not Yahoo World, just Yahoo! Yeah, honestly, that's the big problem with it. It's a little bit irritating to navigate. It's not that there's no ways to get to the midpoint the whole time. I think it's mostly the Wowie Zowie World. Good compromise, actually. I like that. This is the jail theme. Probably one of the more iconic pieces from the game. Love this track. Now this is penis music. Actual secrets in the ride, so you have to run it over and over again. I don't know if I'd say have to, but it's definitely fun that you can. This song goes places. Deet, deet. Go to bed, Gomez. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I guess that was the sound of Gomez descending into his bed. Oh yeah, that's right. This part of the soundtrack is just all the stingers. Oh, except for this part where you chase the Brickster down. The little perks of autism. Here and there. Why does this song go so hard? Come on! Huh! Come on! Okay, let me start with the brightly colored bricks so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, no, I fucking despise lines. Unless I'm, like, constantly upping my, tolerance for them by staring at my fucking phone. Cannot stand them. Honestly, I would rather watch, the Defunct Land video on lines while I'm in line than focus on the fact that I am waiting in line. Because that fucking video is absolutely goddamn fascinating. This is the Brick Hunt theme. Ostism. That's fun. Being from Austria is now a mental condition. The Fast Pass video? Exactly. I love that video so much. I've watched the Fast Pass video probably a similar number of times, if not more. I have only watched his video on the Disney Channel theme composer hunt once, and it was while I was suffocating from peanut allergy. And then I went to the hospital, or whatever. It was not fun. I don't know if I remember if I actually told this story in depth or not, but either way, I remember spending the entire time watching the video trying to stop myself from gagging, or rather gagging myself to see if I could do anything to stop the immediate discomfort that I was experiencing, and nothing worked because, you know, it was in fact an allergic reaction. It wasn't just like me choking on something, having a bad time. It was actually an allergic reaction that I hadn't had in quite literally years at that point. And now, once again, we have an EpiPen in our household as a result. Not that I ever really go out of my way to get peanut related things, because I fucking hate them. Oh yeah, Duck, I have a peanut allergy. I have since I was real little. I did take an allergy test for clearance of that allergy, because sometimes you outgrow allergies as you get older. When I did do that allergy test, they just had me eat a little bit of things with peanut butter in it at a time, and then just see how it, see how much, how I react. So what it ended up being was, because I hated the taste of peanut butter so much, I just could not bear thinking about the actual consumption of it. So what they did was they gave me a little plastic cup that was mixed, or that was a mixture of M&M's and Reese's Pieces, but only the brown, yellow, and orange M&Ms. And they just watched me eat one by one until I made a face that indicated that I had eaten a Reese's Pieces instead. And then they just took away the cup, and then they would wait 5 to 10 minutes, and if nothing happened, I would repeat that cycle. I hated it. It was so goddamn miserable. I didn't have any allergic reactions, but I just didn't like the taste of peanuts. So I just didn't eat it. I avoided anything that had peanuts in it anyway, because I hated the taste of peanuts. So, you know, that problem solved itself, because I just generally avoid peanuts anyway, so it didn't really mean that I had to worry about it. And then I would, but so then how that problem resolved itself next was, because I continued to avoid peanuts, I, as a matter of fact, do not, oh shit, this is the bad end theme for Lego Island. Great. It's like mixing M&Ms and Skittles? Yeah, but the difference is that M&Ms and Skittles are, like, two different things, whereas M&Ms and Reese's Pieces are both chocolate at the end of the day. So if you like it, then, like, you're gonna be fine, but, you know, if you don't, or if you're, say, allergic to peanuts, then that is a dangerous recipe. I have yet to imbibe in trail mix for the same reason. Peanut M&Ms, basically. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so because I would just go out of my way to avoid eating peanuts, over the years my peanut allergy returned. And I would go out of my way to avoid peanut stuff wherever possible. And that is the exact, and that is the reason that when my parents had some cookies that were baked, they didn't mention that they were peanuts, because firstly, they weren't even necessarily super certain themselves. They had just been given cookie dough by someone, or not. We knew them. It's not like it was like a complete stranger gave us cookie dough and we baked it, and we wouldn't do that. No, but it was. But so like because we didn't know what specifically the dough was, you know, that's different. Yeah, I can't have Butterfingers, can't have anything with peanuts at all. It is not something that I am particularly worried about, mind you. I do not give a flying fuck that I can't have peanuts. I am not missing anything. Because even outside of the allergy, just a thing. I had peanut butter M&Ms and I had Skittles. At one point we gave each other a piece and we both felt complete disgust due to the sudden change in texture. Yeah. So mixing Skittles and M&Ms is a war crime. Otherwise, but like just the conceit of M&Ms and Reese's Pieces, no, that's perfectly typical. It's a very average sounding thing. No, Mush, don't. You're fighting the good fight. Fuck peanuts. Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces. Rice Pick. He's gonna hang out in the corner for now. That was an interesting track.
Hooray! The
Brickster is caught. The Brickster is caught.
We're just gonna listen to the radio shouts.
Pepper, Pepper! The Brickster is caught! The Brickster is caught!
Hooray! Pepper! Pepper! The Brickster's caught. The Brickster's caught.
Is that you? What's her face from Bugsnax? Wiggle? This track is called Radio Sax. Accurate. Bag number 4.
In your home or in your car, you are never really far from LEGO Radio.
And you're listening to LEGO Radio. Reminding you that if you aren't listening to LEGO Radio, you probably aren't listening to the radio. In the headlines
speaking of
today,
stickers that were
Brickster's
given
still
to us
in
for
jail.
Christmas.
Disaster at the beach. Parrot makes painters plunge. A nick in time saves 9. Building reaches an all-time high. Legos in space. More later. The Brickster,
So,
the most dangerous man on the island,
Duck
is in jail now,
came
but
by
not
the other
long.
day
Remember,
to give me my
do
Christmas
not
gift.
feed the Brickster. Brick you
And it was a
save
bunch of
might be
stickers.
your own. The Superstore, located just west of
Trombit,
the beach near the
you know.
pizzeria, is
And
still
the
closed
very
for remodels.
next thing that I saw,
Proprietor of the store,
I
Maggie
tilted
Phillips,
it,
invites all
tipped
the
it
listeners
slightly
to stop
down.
by and make some
I knew
suggestions of your own.
immediately.
It's just a short click to a better tomorrow.
Your head is not the same without a hat. Life is very cold without a hat. That's why we call on the Superstore, because it really likes to show you hats.
Hello, I'm Mr. Super from the Superstore. The Superstore is located near the pizzeria. I always wear a hat, and when I want a new one, I always come here. The Super is closed for remodeling, and I should know. I'm Mr. Super.
I'm
from
Mr.
the
Super.
Superstore.
The Superstore has hats in all your favorite colors, from yellow to blue and red and white and black, in a wide variety of styles, from the ever-popular baseball cap to an appetizing chef's hat, and all styles in between.
Shadow, what are you doing?
Oh shit!
Hurry and
Oh
get
no!
back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows
No,
up?
we cannot tear up the geek. It was a gift from my good friend Clarinet Duck.
Oh no!
No, my stickers! My fucking stickers! Thank you. Both for the point redeem and also the stickers, Duck. They're very good. I need to find a good place to put them all.
That's all right. We make a pizza, we make a pasta, we make lots of money. Why?
Because we're the only place to eat on the island.
Just remember our motto.
Alright, we're just gonna let the rest of the radio jingles play out while I think about the next soundtrack that we're gonna play.
Or in your car, you are never really far from LEGO Radio.
Yes, LEGO Radio. If you're not listening to LEGO, then chances are you're not listening to a radio.
And I'm Marty Snaps for Radio Sports. And now for the sports. There was an amazingly fast race at the racetrack today. And later
The song
on in
said
the
you don't
day,
have
there was an
pasta.
even
Yeah,
faster
no, there's
race
some
in the
contradictory
TV
information
sports.
out there.
That's sports for now. And I'm Marty Snaps for Radio Sports.
And the weather today is pretty good, followed by a little of the same. Stay tuned for a really neat song.
Really good pizza and the linguine, lots of sauce and fettuccine. Making food is what I do, so come on down to Broccolini.
Alright, that's enough out of you. Okay, the rest of these are unused or early versions, so just to mix things up a little bit more, we're actually going to... Oh shit! Oh god! Wait, hang on. Oh, I just know that guy. That's Man! Why? Guys, he's still... Oh, there we go. I don't know why the timing on that's all messed up, but, Actually, you know what? I could probably just do this instead. I can go into my regular. Yeah, no, in Opera GX, my keyboard sounds are all replaced with Ace Attorney and Persona sound effects. Also, the background itself is Persona. So that's all the Ace Attorney sound effects, and then when I close and open tabs, it's Persona. A little hard to tell because of all the crinkling plastic, but it'll work. Mine's Miku. Miku's good. Her voice is my keyboard sounds. That sounds like it would be a little bit complicated. We are going to listen to... That sounds incredibly annoying, but in a very charming way. Pizza. Yeah, I gotta find a way to properly play this. There we go. There we go. Much nicer. Beep pizza. Okay. Back at it. Whoa, whoa. Beep pizza. Alright. I know this is going to make the footage wash it out a little bit, but I really do need light to see because a lot of these pieces are black. It makes it a little hard. I think with sets this large, it's very good of them to... Did a piece just roll away? I think it's very helpful that they specifically the way that they specifically break down the rules, or break down the bags, so that you know the step-by-step process is a little more clear. It's very helpful. Pizza time. I bought Pizza Time the other day, and I still haven't played much of it. I need to, but I also have a lot of other games on my queue. And I get very stubborn with games like Pizza Time. So, it's one of those things I gotta dedicate a whole bunch of time to. It's tricky. Oh, yeah, this track. This one's a banger. What's Pizza Time? You mean Pizza Tower? Yes, I do. No, I mean clock towel. What do you think I'm talking about? Dingus? Come back to me when it doesn't take you 3 years to finish the video game. It's me. I'm the same person. Actually, I was being very literal there. I'm not... I didn't mean that I was, I meant that I was actually stuck in Pizza Time for ages. Not Pizza Tower. I will actually be spending 300 years in Pizza Time. That's just how my life is gonna have to go now. Sorry, guys. Thought I was gonna be streaming Sonic later. Nope, Pizza Time. Hello? Oh, there's another bag I haven't opened. That's me interested because now I want to build Lego and self-control on hand on $110 in Lego gift cards for Christmas. On the other hand, there's a Lego store in the mall near my college, and we're gonna go. Yeah, no, wait to buy more Lego. If you have any Lego sets at home that you can disassemble and reassemble in the meantime, that's fun. Oh yeah, other solution. Go to Turt's or go to Len's place and build the Lego NES for them. You lost your first Pikmin? Oh no! What happened? Please tell. We can help you overcome this. I didn't put on the right thing. I missed a step. You're just gonna have two? That is exactly the kind of thing. This is the most use I've ever gotten out of one of these brick separators. That's insane. You will have oh, I see. Vroom vroom. Duel 1971, vroom vroom. But yeah, when I was growing up, my brothers and I, we all liked Lego. And so there were some times where we did just straight up have duplicate Lego sets. Which makes it difficult when you're trying to build them from the standpoint of having the right number of parts and all that on hand and ready when you're working with the communal Lego bins. But on the other hand, it does make it considerably easier if one is missing parts. Fuck it. So what? Big tub of bricks to play with? Based. There you are. I love organization too much to ever just have a big bin of Legos that is completely unorganized. Also because I just do too much with, like I did too much with my Legos to ever keep them unorganized for too long. So if I did have something disassembled, I would keep it disassembled in parts and then sort all those parts so that they were organized in our big Lego sorting bins. Which I will show you sometime. Not tonight, but I will. But they were very, very cute. They had the little Lego logo in the bottom and everything. Hey, did you guys know that Pizza Tower has lore? Because, like, the way that I always had it explained to me is that they never really... They went out of their way to not have any lore for the game. But then when I learned what the actual lore is, I lost my goddamn mind. Because, holy shit. They didn't need to make it that intense. But at the same time, it's about what you expect from something when it's inspired by Wario Land, where it's batshit insane, but you have no time to process how insane it is, because you're busy fighting for your goddamn life. Speaking of fighting for your goddamn life, hello there. Hi, how's it going? Hello there. But yeah, I won't go into what that Pizza Tower lore is because I don't have the brain power to do that while also building. But any of y'all want to look up Gutter John or John Gutter, his bio on the Pizza Tower wiki, or Jerome, the janitor. Look up their bios, and then you will understand why it's so freaking weird. Because they just did that with this, and they decided that that's what they would do. Okay. This is a very... Wait, I went to say goodnight to my parents with Lego Island's music. Why is Pizza Tower playing? Because Pizza Tower time. Also because we ran out of music. It just got to the radio calling. It's a very clever way of having sloped bricks being built outward. These guys, I like it a lot. Okay, now I do the same thing the other way around. Or not the other way around, just slightly differently. You know what, on second thought, I think we will be able to finish this Lego set tonight with the Power of Pizza Tower soundtrack. This is starting to get the point at the complexity of the set where I actually have to start counting out the pieces that they list in the top left corner to make sure that I'm not missing a step. Because these sets do get complicated. Hey, it's that screaming guy from Lego Island. He's back. This bass line here reminds me a lot of Homestuck. This goes on this guy. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me, sirs. Pardon me coming through. Now this goes on this side? Yes. You can't see any of this right now, but I'm trying to make sure that all the flat parts are lined up on this. And I think I got it. So, look at that. So clean. Oh, no. Immediately notice something. Fix that. Stick together. There we go. Much better. I don't even know what I'm trying to show you at that point, honestly. Next page. Oh, now I get to do the same thing in reverse. Downside of this being hands-only cam is you can't see how much I'm fucking jamming right now. What? This time I won't forget to put these parts in. currently shitpost drawing right now. Please do share. I'm curious. Am I forgetting anything? No, that's it. Next page. I've been doing with this in the background may have been a poor idea on account of how little attention I had left for stream. On the other hand, White Palace. I am Muse Dash. No, Hollow Knight. Oh. I just remember I saw you playing Muse Dash earlier, and I was like, ah. Regardless, Hollow Knight is a tough video game, so yeah, I get that. So you could do what I do, which is pick up and put down the video game constantly to yell in the Twitch chat. Also, good night, Fridge. Thank you for tuning in. It's very good to have you. I will probably be doing this again tomorrow, if not during regular stream time, maybe sometime during the day. So, if you want to listen to me as background music throughout the day tomorrow, I will probably be available. Because, you know, it's a good time. I will enjoy. Thank you. Before you go,
Caramba! I hate it when there's a lot of hair on the floor. Here, I'll go clean up.
okay.
Feels good when the floor is clean, doesn't it? Let's groove.
Yeah, there's a variant where he just doesn't do anything. I don't think I've actually had the chance to show that off before. Scam. It's not a scam. The part that you just vibe to is the best part. Also, the main reason that it did that is because that is when I was making this layout, it was primarily based on my break screen, and that is the one that I have on my break screen in the event that someone redeems it during a break, or when we're on a loading screen, then I just push that, and because nothing's there. But I did not think to swap it out, so I'm just glad that my buttons carried over, if I'm being honest. I have no idea what they're saying in this song, and I don't know if I ever want to learn. DMs? Okay, let me have a look see. It's very good, hang on. Just that. Hang on, let me actually... You. Very good shit, thank you. Was I in the middle of one of these? I was. I was not, actually. I lied. I've considered making an arrangement of something from Pizza Tower for the BGSO, and every time I'm like, I really could do this song, because Death of that Zervioli is just a great track, and it would be a fun thing to pair with It's Pizza Time. But then I remembered, I do not want to put, like, I know that if anyone was going to make an arrangement of this song, they were going to give this part to the clarinets, and I don't think I have the heart to put them through that. Like, I'm specifically talking about the synth line in the background. That part. Yeah, no. Especially because it starts out slow. Like, I'm sure that there is a clarinetist out there that would actually murder me for doing something like that. And I in fact, I know he's in the chat, so... Depends on a lot of things. Let me see. Duck, if I play this part of the song at the beginning again, just to give you a perspective on what it sounds like. Key range, jumps and pitches, etc. Well, let me just show you what it sounds like at the beginning. Yeah, like that. That wouldn't fly with the clarinets, would it? At least I have a sneaking suspicion that it wouldn't. Okay, oh, man. It was fun at first. Yeah. Now give it to oboe. I'm pretty certain that it wouldn't be much. I'm sure that it wouldn't be much more difficult one way or the other. It's just a matter of being physically impossible. Based. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Terra would murder me then. I think if I even implied that I was going to give it to one of the oboes, then I would have to abandon the Pizza Tower arrangement and do a Banjo-Kazooie arrangement instead. Just so that she would not murder me. Give her a dedicated banjo feature instead. cannot wait until I get to show you guys our 10th anniversary concert recordings. They are so good. It's such a good concert. One of these days I'm going to find a way to drag you guys physically down here. So that you, all the way from Canada and the UK. Slower enough to play. If I have to play a bunch of accidentals of the throat tones, it's Jover. Yeah. Accidentals or throat tones, yeah. Regardless, not fun. Okay, and they can watch the stream. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I gotta get them to come down to one of our shows to see it in person, because the recording's one thing, but like seeing it live is another. I made a food tray. I gotta make an updated CATV map. Oh yeah, no. Chaconi, oh, hang on. Bag 5. Time for the next bag, guys. They're not even giving us breaks at this point. They're just telling us, look, next bag, go, go, go. Get a move on. I remember when I was a kid, I never listened to the numbered order of bags. I just opened them all up at once. I think if I was doing it with this, I would probably die. Okay, bag 5 is actually one bag. 3 to 4 days drive or a 6-hour flight. Well, one of those is significantly more reasonable than that. I appreciate when insides of complicated builds use bright colored pieces, because that way it makes it way easier to see where you're putting things. Because not everything's just meshes of black. If it was, it'd be a nightmare to look through. The fact that modern instruction booklets for Lego sets are so freaking clear and concise is absolutely amazing. Like, genuinely some of the most fascinating pieces of design. And that's going outside of the fact that the sets themselves are absolutely freaking incredibly designed. Hello? Oh, this is a unique piece. I've never seen one of these things before. It's so strange looking. About 5 hours? That's still a lot. $32. Yeah, that's off by quite a lot. The screen freaked out on me for a moment, so I had to double check something. Move this back over to the right. People living very far away is difficult, but something that just happens as life goes on, and it's unfortunate, but it's just how it pans out. Oh, that's why. I see now. Yeah, like, one of my best friends from high school now lives in Florida with her dad, who went down south when he retired. But before that, she was attending schools overseas in London, or close to. I don't remember the exact, if it was actually in London or not. Either way, I know that she visited there frequently enough, so very far away. Stupid ocean. Stop by your house when we were passing through Maryland on our way back from Florida last year? No kidding. What time last year was that? Because now I'm curious what the time frame was. Because that would be genuinely fun. Around January? Yeah, I think I think I remember this. I think at the time that you mentioned that, I was like, I wouldn't be there anyway. I'm at MagFest, I think, if I'm recalling correctly. I mean, it's not like MagFest says that it takes place in the National Harbor, which is technically in DC, but most other places just say that it's in Maryland, and functionally, yeah, it's in Maryland. So, like, I mean, as long as it's a detour, it's going to be a little bit of an excessive detour, but going to MagFest to see someone specifically is an expensive thing. Forgot DC is in Maryland. It's not. It's not. DC is its own independent body. It is not a state. It is not part of our state. It is a completely different being. But it is close enough that a lot of people that work in DC live in Maryland, which is what my dad did for the longest time. And it was very fun. And my mom currently also works in DC now, so they just kind of swapped around a little bit. But in my book, Maryland encompasses DC. In a lot of ways, it could, but there are also a really significant portion of people who work in DC but live in Virginia instead. Even took a little bite out of Maryland to make it. I feel like it's more. I don't know. Kind of. Pepperman's theme slaps so hard. Downside of disabling noise gate is that now you can hear me hum, where normally you don't. It also ensures that you hear every last sniffle that I make. Excuse me. These pieces right here always remind me of Emperor Palpatine's throne room, because we had a set for that way back in the day. Ah! And they were used as part of it, or similar pieces to them. Question is, what are these things going to turn into? This piece was also part of Emperor Palpatine's throne. Distinctly remember that much. Now these guys go like this. Turn this whole thing around. And they go here. Oh, do tell. What specifically about this professor makes him interesting? Craft. I love that actually. I mean, sometimes having those as a visual reference or like a visual aid is very helpful. And other times it's just nice to be a nerd to just have fun little references here and there. I remember there was a meme going around where someone was like, there's no fucking way, where all of the names used in the examples in the math problems were Homestuck characters. How many unique ways can you assemble a tower if you have 8 dirt blocks, 3 wool blocks, and 5 stone block? I mean, that's also just a very... I don't mean to make fun of typos, but Burt blocks is very funny. But yeah, no, like, genuinely, that can be helpful sometimes, especially when dealing with, like, extreme, like, more abstract math. Having more concrete examples is better, because that makes it easier and easier for someone to process it. Now, that being said, I have not taken a math class in far too long, so I would probably still suffer, but that on its own should not be seen as a damnation of it. Yeah, I like those questions. Yeah, exactly. Again, because they help. I just put an extra brick on. Hang on. The dude's in his 40s. Legendary. Oh man, Dubby, how could you forget that? It's almost like the makers of Pizza Tower were inspired by the creators of Snick. I need to... Grand Emperor Thrawn! Oh my god. That's awesome. It's such a fun reference to just pull out of nowhere. Grand Admiral. Now, question, is that is a Star Trek, correct? Because I have no goddamn idea who the character is, and if I don't, then it probably means it is a Star Wars. What? And who specifically? Like, where specifically do they show up? Because I don't. Is it like KOTOR or something? Oh, that get a lot of fucking stormtroopers. You get helmet. I love that. Oh, that's fun that they brought him back for those shows. That's a fun way of doing it. Three weeks of Thrawn. I love that. Honestly, more power to the guy. More people should just be able to enjoy things. I remember when we, Dr. Ciccone, he has this place, like, we like Star Wars in our, he likes Star Wars a lot, and so one of the pieces that I did in my first season in the symphonic band was the flight of the Flight of the Resistance. Okay, that's not gonna work. Oh, but that will. Hang on, you know what might work? Just move my monitor closer, actually. There we go. Might help a little bit. Not Bumblebee. Not Flight of the Bumblebee. Tragic. Alright, bag 6. I think these bags are just one. We are on 6 out of 16, correct. And that's not even accounting for the fact that some of the numbered bags weren't actually just those bags. Like, it was like 7, or like I think the total number of bags is probably closer to like 18? No. 19. Because some of the bags are labeled as like bag 2, bag 3, but then there are smaller bags aside from them that are also labeled bag 2, bag 3, just because there are smaller parts that didn't fit in the main body. Does this set come with a dump to throw ET in? I will personally buy the pieces necessary to make another cartridge and ET set, because genuinely I would find that absolutely hilarious to have with the Atari. This track is so good. It's also one of the most underrated tracks in Pizza Tower. So this is going to be one of the panels on the side, if I interpret correctly. I think after this bag, this will be the end for tonight, because it is midnight. And ending on bag 6 seems like a pretty nice way to close it off, because then we have 10 bags left. And I do mean actually 10 bags, because unlike bag 6, unlike the previous bags, which had other smaller bags inside of them, the end of the road bags are the exact same. Like, there's only one per number, which is really how they should be, but you know. Man, going from this track to from the previous track to Funny Farm is always fucking emotional whiplash. Pikmin 4 is very fun. I love Pikmin 4. My only regret is that there's no way to play the game co-op that isn't just Mario Galaxy nonsense. Because I would absolutely love to sit down and do co-op Pikmin with you at some point. The benefits of living nearby one another. Oh yeah, gamepad controls for Pikmin 3 are phenomenal. And it took me a long time to get used to the controls for Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Wii or on the Switch, because of how different it felt not having access to that gamepad. That and the auto lock-on in Pikmin 3 Deluxe is particularly frustrating. I was not a huge fan of it at first. I got used to it, but I would definitely still prefer the standard controls. Especially because they added a whole bunch of weird... really weird caveats to the auto aim in 3 Deluxe. It magnetizes to things a little bit too well, which is why they felt the need to put a whole bunch of screws around the overworld, which is just very incongruous with everything else. So that your auto reticle has something to or so that the thing has something to magnetically lock onto. Just has to switch between Ochi and Captain. Set up shortcuts. My shortcut for it was clicking the left stick would swap between Ochi and the Captain. And then I had up on the D-pad was Spicy Spray, down on the D-pad was Whistle Everyone, or was I think that might have been one of the disband commands, actually. But definitely use those. And don't forget that clicking the stick is one of those commands, because it is incredibly useful. And the game will tell you about them. Don't worry, the game likes... Pikmin 4 is also a very chatty game. They will tell you everything. Whether or not you listen is another thing, which is a problem that I have with Persona 5 as well, because you go through 1,000,001 tutorial messages, and by the end of it, you don't remember what they said in the first tutorial box. I think the Persona games are probably the worst offenders I've ever encountered in that regard, in terms of giving you too much shit at once. At least with Pikmin, like, it's kind of lighthearted. With Persona, you spend just as much time just talking with characters completely in-universe as you do reading tutorial messages, it feels like, because of how friggin' much it is. I think one of the reasons that they talk so much is because your player character is a silent protagonist. Which, you know, it's fine. You know, I don't really mind. It's not a huge deal. I have a personal beef with silent protagonists as a trope, but I won't get into that tonight, because we're about to wrap up. Oh damn. What the fuck? What the hell am I gonna do here? Use a hammer, and one of these, and 2 of those, okay. Okay, this is very strange. I think the cast of Pikmin 4 is very charming, but their chattiness does get... They either have a silent protagonist or Rex. Look, I haven't played Xenoblade, so I have no idea. I think the worst example of a protagonist that speaks when they shouldn't is... Switching now is so easy? Exactly. Okay. It took me longer than a minute to say when the protagonist should be silent or not. I should have just said Alex. Yeek. No, but I do think that if Alex was completely silent in Yeek, it would be a much worse narrative. If you're gonna make him speak, just make him speak meaningful things. Because the problem really comes down to with Alex's dialogue in Yeek is that it's not important observations, and if it was consistent characterization, which it is almost never, both of those things. Yeah, no, believe me, we will be, we will have plenty more time to talk about how terrible Yeek is. Yeah. The thing about Yeek is that, like Balan Wonderworld, there are so many aspects to the game that would need to be, like, thoroughly revamped that it would take too much effort for anyone to do it, especially as a mod. But the fact that the devs are going out of their way to do it doesn't even make me that much hope. It doesn't even give me that much hope, because if I'm being honest, I don't think that those are gonna be the people that are going to be able to take an unbiased look at what needs to be changed and change it. I think that they're going to have a very hard time with it. I think it's going to be very bad. Okay, not very bad. I think it's going to be very rough. I don't think it's going to be a good video game, but I think it will definitely be at least a 6 out of 10. As of right now, Yeek is like a 2 out of 10, maybe a 3. And the story itself is a whole other... Ugh, man. That's the other thing, is that there needs to be some extensive rewrites to the story as well. It's not just a gameplay thing and a presentation thing, it is a lot. There are aspects that do hit for it, like some of the presentation does really look cool. I like a lot of the visuals and some of the ideas behind Yeek. I think that there is a lot of promise to be had in it, and the high concept is not bad at all. Contrary to popular belief, I don't think that Alex being a shitty person is a bad narrative choice. I just wish that he was written well. And I think the greater issue at play is just that the game itself doesn't know when to stop. Doesn't know how to stop. But I have too many thoughts about Yeek to include them in the end of a Lego building stream, and I don't want to bring down the mood too much. And I also checked in on Sonic Studio. I have not. Is that like a Sonic builder? Like a Mario Maker type thing for Sonic stages? Or is it like a Sonic team thing? Oh, very cool. I will definitely look at that then. Alright. the text on this screen on this page says, introduced in 1980, the CX2600A model of the VCS reduced the front switch count to 4 and relocated the 2 difficulty switches to the back of the console. Very cool. This is upside down. We'll take a look at that later. Thank you very much. This is the back of the console, where the ports go in. You know what? So what I'm doing here is the little minifigure hammers that make up they're supposed to be like little power switches, or like not power switches, the back of the console. You know how there's normally like a thing in the middle? Like on a USB stick. So it's supposed to be centered rather than just directly backwards. At least as far as I can see. Well. That'll be fine as it is. Alright, now I take this whole part here. Now, this whole part here, clip it back onto here, like so. And now, this goes here. Beautiful. We can now plug things in. Wunderbar. I said that this would be the last one, but how far does bag 7 go? Bag 7's not too long. We'll do bag 7, and then we'll wrap it up. Because then that way we can start next stream with another cartridge. Building asteroids. So let's do bag 7. I will definitely take a look at it then, Len. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Because I had not heard of that at all until now. Bag 7. Alright, last bag of the night. Most of this is building directly onto the console too, so there's that. There we go. A little bit more interesting view of things. Fun fact, the first time I ever heard that track was in relation to DDR Mario Mix on the GameCube. Upside of also doing Pack 7 tonight is that we get to end on a banger of a track. Because Tropical Crust. Good shit. Come on! at these big ass things. So weirdly shaped. Back in my day, these would have been 2 separate bricks. Well, no, this slope is a little more steep than it used to be. So, it works. Gotta make 4 of these things. No, 2 of these things, because we got 4 of these bricks. Someone put this monkey out of his misery. He sounds like he's having a real awful time. You go back over here. You're actually gonna get built on there. So this goes here, and this goes here, and these go. Oh, that is so clever. Hang on. So you see these little red nubbins here? They're not studs. They're little stems, and they insert into the anti-studs, or the studs here, as opposed to attaching by anti-studs, which is what we in the business call the other side of a brick. And then even though that these pieces here, this is the underside with the anti-studs on them, and this is the part with the studs on it, we, real sneaky like, just kind of put a smooth brick over it like that, and no one will ever know. Monkey. And then there's these guys. This plate specifically was initially designed, at least to my understanding, to be a minifigure standee. Like they would just stand on the middle one, and then that'd be it. But now they have use in an actual set. There's not a lot happening on screen right now. I apologize for that. It's very hard for me to see. Yeah. Lego is really good about using bricks for multiple purposes. Because they're, like, probably one of my favorites is that on the... Let's see if I can actually get this to show up on camera. But on this set, these right here, these pedals are fucking pirate hats. This is like a rice picker hat. This part here is a hubcap. And all of these are oars, like minifigure oars. It's so good. Trying to see if there's any other easily visible ones. No, that's it. Oh, wait. This is a bucket. There's more, actually. But yeah, the bonsai tree also similarly has a bunch of pink frogs. It's very silly. It's very cute. I've been building Legos long enough that I know how to get bricks to fit together immediately in the cleanest way possible, but that doesn't always result in a click, so I've actually been going out of my way to try and get clicks this stream ever since I turned off the noise gate, because, well, might as well. It's the ASMR channel now, I guess. Oh, I gotta do that twice? Fuck. Okay. Square one. Legos is a good time. Yes, it is. Now go to sleep. I'll be at it again tomorrow, so it's not like we'll run out of Legos. Not in this household, anyway. Good night. Another work in progress? Let's have a look. Aww. Hang on. Wrong one. Homophobic OG? No! OG would never. He doesn't have the brain cells to be homophobic. Small. Oop. Oh, yeah, no, that Moss is homophobic. there just a sample of, like, a copy machine in this track? Your art professor is very political. I don't know if this is necessarily what you meant by that statement, but I can definitely say that art in and of itself is a very political medium. So, like, I don't blame them for being a little weird about it sometimes. But, like, art is sometimes meant to be incendiary. So, like, I don't know. Like, I get it. But definitely not going to be taking an art class to try and draw political cartoons, though. Oh, fuck yes. Do we get to end the stream with Deep Dish 9? Banger alert. Okay, yeah, that's a whole other thing. It's like... That's one of those things where it just gets to be frustrating. What? And he's the art teacher? Those two things, that should be an oxymoron. That's absurd. Cannot believe that. If y'all haven't already, you need to watch Jeff Through, aka Mother's Basement. He did an excellent video about AI and AI-generated art in response to that one YouTube channel that did the rock, paper, scissors anime thing, and they trained it using frames from the Berserk anime, from the original Berserk anime, and it was just like, wow, you really just gave the game away. Like, this is not AI making the art, this is AI stealing someone else's art. And also just mutilating everyone's fingers in the process, which, you know, they might deserve it. They might deserve not having fingers if they're gonna be making shit like that. It's absolutely atrocious. No, that's not how it works. Alright, well, that's up to bag 8. We've made... Well, to be honest, it looks like the bottom of a starship. Look at that. Look at all that. It's really hard to illustrate this well because so much of it is black. But, you know, that's what it is. Cool. Alright. I'm not gonna bother trying to find a raid target because it is 12:30 at night. No one that I know is gonna be awake. It's also just a very quiet night in general. So, thank you guys for sticking around. And thank you for bearing with this stream and all of its technical shortcomings. And remember, you're an Easter egg to me. Or something. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. Good night, everyone.